So Lissa, I'm going to turn it over to you if you want to go ahead and introduce our speaker.
Sure. Okay, so our speaker this evening is Lynn Walker. She is the Director of Development for A Week Away. Some fun things about her: she is a former EMT and wilderness guide. She's been married for 45 years, 4 sons, 5 grandchildren, and she's deeply invested in the mission of A Week Away. So just a little story about how I found their mission, just browsing some nonprofits online. Actually watched their video, and it brought me to tears. So I apologize to everybody for the tears, but I think their mission is great, and I'm so excited to hear more about it. So with that, I will hand it over to Lynn.
Thank you, Alyssa. It's a real privilege to be here. I'm going to set myself up here by giving you forewarning. I am more into zoo than into Zoom. Okay. This has been a hard year for me because everything is on Zoom, and I'm a people person. Put me in a room with 1,000 people and I'm very comfortable speaking, but on a computer, just I tend to go off topic. I also want to let you know that, and this will cover any flubs I make tonight. Okay. So on Friday, I had to go to the dentist, and I have an abscess in my tooth. And unfortunately, I cannot have a root canal until Thursday. So I'm going to blame anything I say on the drugs that I'm on. Okay. So it might actually make this a very interesting conversation. So just letting you know here. But I wanted to say thank you. I've spoken at several Rotaries in the Lancaster area. And to me, it is so fitting because Caleb Walker, my son, who started A Week Away, was so deeply invested in the Lancaster community. And he was involved in everything. And he was always about building relationships and helping others. He read a book once, Never Eat Alone. And I think he memorized it. He never, ever ate alone. You know, he would always schedule something and get together with someone and try to do some good. If you know a little bit about our history, we became an official 501c3 in 2014. My son Caleb passed away in 2014 of brain cancer. He battled it for 6 years, and he gave it a good go. He really did. But over the course of 6 years, he came to see the need of others. In his first surgery, he was actually paralyzed, and he was able to rehab and he was paralyzed on his left side, and he was able to rehab and get most of his function back. And then we found out about a month later after that surgery, exactly, the pathology was very difficult. And we then found out what type of cancer he had, and that sent us down to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We sat in a room with probably 100 other people, at least. It was the most crowded in 6 years that I have ever seen that waiting room. And all of a sudden, he drops his head on my shoulder. Now, Caleb at that time was a senior in high school, and he drops his head on my shoulder, and he gets emotional. He gets very teary. And I was like, honey, it's okay. We've got this. We're going to beat this. We're good here, and I'm thinking of only one person in that room, him. And he looks at me and he says, no, Mom, what do they do? And I'm like, who? Like, who else is here? And he's looking across the room. I follow his eyes, and he's looking at a very young mom, teenage mom, holding a little tiny baby. And if she's in that room, that meant that baby had cancer. And he started crying. He said, we have our family, we have our faith, we have such support, we have great support. Who do they go to? And I am convinced that is when the seed for A Week Away was planted. You go further down the line, about his 3rd brain surgery then, and he's trying to get through college. And it was terrible. He kept having having to have surgeries during finals. So he was perpetually in his sophomore year. And but he kept going, and someone gave us a weekend away, just a simple getaway down to Ocean City, New Jersey. And he was off riding his bike on the boardwalk, And I'm getting a little nervous because he's had a couple brain surgeries and he's gone for about 2 hours. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, he just bursts through the door. And he's like, I know what I'm going to do. And again, I'm thinking of him only, thinking, oh, we're going to graduate college. We're going to get married. We're going to beat cancer. You're going to give me grandchildren. And he's like, no. He says, for the first time in 4 years, I just felt normal. I found myself dreaming of my future and planning for it. He said, when you get away, you get to feel normal. I'm going to give this to people. And so he stopped. He started working extra jobs. He eventually dropped out of college and devoted himself full-time to starting the A Week Away Foundation. He passed away in December of 2014. He lived to see one family go away and knew that another one was scheduled for that year. So that was the beginning of who we were as an organization. To date, as of this week, we have granted, now they haven't all been taken because of COVID, some are backed up now, but we have approved over 170 respites for families who are battling a life-threatening illness. So that was his dream. That's what he wanted to give to people. And now we are well on our way. I mean, we have a backlog for next year. Can't wait for next year. It's going to be an incredible year to be able to send families away. But I'd like you, please, to put yourself in our family's position, because I think more than ever before now you can. Having been locked inside your homes, or if any of you are immunocompromised, and not getting a break at all, not getting to escape from your circumstances of everyday living. The families that we deal with, are in this cement mixer of doctor's appointments and surgeries and chemo and trips back and forth on the road. We had to go to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia every day for months. Can you imagine going down the Schuylkill Expressway every day from Lancaster? It's an endless, it's just, it's an onslaught. And there's no rest for the weary. Obviously, there's the financial strain. Obviously, there's, the physical strain. There's the strain of the other members of the family who have needs as well, and they're not getting met. What it can do to a marriage. So Caleb decided, that this is something, having felt it firsthand, he experienced firsthand, it wasn't an easy road. We actually lost our business, while we were going through this. But he knew the toll that it took on people's everyday lives, and he wanted to provide a respite. Now, why do we call these respites? They're not vacations. Everybody, I'm sure here today would say, after this year, I need a vacation. I need to get away. And in the middle of a year of hard work, and so many times we say, man, I just need a vacation. I need a break. Compound that 1,000 times for the families that are battling life-threatening illnesses. They desperately need a break. Now, respite is something where somebody is holding on by their very fingernails when they simply can't go any further, and someone comes underneath and lifts them up and holds them and elevates them and enables them to go on, enables them to hold on. We're not providing Make-A-Wish. This isn't, Caleb was very stubborn about this. He says, I'm not giving somebody a bucket list so they can just cross it off their list and give up. I want to enable them to keep fighting. I want them to find hope and peace and rest. And so we call them respites. And what we will do is, if a person, regardless of age, regardless of illness, if it is a life-threatening illness from child to adult, if it's certified by a physician, you can apply on our website for a respite. And we will come alongside you, and we will tailor make this getaway, this break, this respite to what you need. We have different categories. We have a beach respite. We have a mountain, wilderness respite, and we have urban. And we have, we've dialed back because we actually started growing too fast. We started getting applications from all over the country, and we can't maintain relationships with somebody in California as well as we can maintain some with somebody in Etown. So now we provide respites down all the way down to the Outer Banks and up the coast. So it could be Bethany Beach or Ocean City, New Jersey, or Ocean City, Maryland, the Outer Banks. We'll do the major cities. We can do Philadelphia, which is the #2 city to visit apparently right now. Pittsburgh, New York, DC, things like that. And then we can do wilderness. We can do you know, an outdoors respite. One of my favorite ones that we sent a family away, and it was a grandfather with his grandchildren and his hunting dogs. I mean, we will make those things happen. Another one was a family whose children they had never seen the beach ever. And we have pictures of them going over the sand dunes and standing there and crying, looking at the ocean. Okay, so those are the things we endeavor to make their dreams come true. We endeavor to take the strain, the stress, the financial cares that they're under, and just provide them with a week of complete peace. Now, for that reason, we don't send anybody in an airplane, because who rests on an airplane? Okay, it has to be, we limit people to 500 miles away from their home hospital. And that has to be with a doctor's approval to travel. But that, we feel like that's measurable, that's doable for a family. And then we will send them away. We cover absolutely everything. We'll cover parking, we'll cover meals, entertainment, everything is covered. There is no cost to the family whatsoever. And we define family as the patient and their whole care team. Remember that young mom, you know, I'm quite sure maybe her grandmother was part of her care team, you know, helping take care of her and the baby. It could be a boyfriend. It could be, you know, your whole family and your aunts and cousins, who's ever involved in the integral care of the patient. Those are the people that need rest. And so we try, and that's their support network. So everybody, you know, is affirming one another and growing and getting rest and hope and peace at the same time, because they're all in that together. So there's absolutely no cost. Something that we do that we feel is very unique and very important. Like I said, we lost our business. We couldn't really afford to take time away. There's many people who are in that same boat. And so we provide opportunity costs. So if you no longer have PTO, if you don't have any vacation days left, we will provide for you the opportunity costs of what your salary would have been for that week. And what we do is we put that towards your mortgage or towards your bills or something, so that, guess what? It is stress-free. It is peaceful. You do find rest. And so that's you know, that's basically the setup. If you wanted to refer someone to a week away, you could send them directly to our website, and you can apply on there. It has to be, just follow step 1, 2, 3, and it has to be completed 100% and certified by a doctor, and we will begin the process of preparing a respite for you. Something as Rotarians, I thought might be unique is many of you are in businesses, and I know that you might be aware of employees that are battling. You know, maybe there's a dad there whose son is sick, or his wife, and they need a break. One of the best things you could ever do for us, but also you can do this for yourself, is refer somebody, because when they come back refreshed, that they're maybe able to work a little longer. Maybe you don't have to replace that person because they've missed so much work, and so you're not having to train a new employee. So, you know, it's just a kind of a side benefit, but by taking care of the whole person, the total person, these are benefits that do play out in the community. So I think in closing, one of the things that you can, best ways that you can help us, listen, we love money, and that's my job. I'm very good at asking people for money. Just ask my husband. But we love referrals. That's the #1 thing that you can do for us. And if you know someone that's in need, send them our way. I want to fulfill my son's wish, my son's legacy, by helping other people and win some battles. You can volunteer. You can go online and you can volunteer with us. We are made up of a board of directors and approximately 50 active volunteers. We're always looking for more, and we spread them out. We have 2 major events through the year, both of which were changed drastically this year. We have a spring gala, and we have an awesome golf outing the first week in September, so which was virtual this year. And of course, you know, you can donate. if you're looking to find out more about us.
Then you kind of froze up there for a minute, at least on my end. Do you mind repeating the last part if we're looking to find out more about you?
Sure. So you can reach us at info@aweekaway.org. And you can also email me at lynn.walker@aweekaway.org if you have any questions whatsoever. The contact info is on our website. And there's a great frequently asked questions list there that might be very helpful. Plugging into Rotary and helping to rebuild, to work within the community. Like I said, the best thing, the thing that we like the best is referrals. If there's someone that we can help, that's what we live to do. That's what Caleb lived to do. And
Oh, we're kind of losing your audio there. I'm not sure.
I don't know why.
Oh, there you go. Now you're back.
Yeah. As long as the doctor certifies that you're okay to travel to a given area, we're happy to begin the process of getting that respite going. So does anyone have any questions for me? Or
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and turn it over for questions. So just a reminder, everyone was muted during her presentation, so make sure you unmute your microphone first, or you can certainly type in the chat box as well, and we can ask any questions as well on our end.
Lynn, where are you based out of, if you haven't said it already, and how do you get your funding?
Okay, well, our hometown is Lancaster, PA, and we're very, very proud to be from Central Pennsylvania. One of the, actually, kind of a cool thing is someone could not take their respite, and at the last minute they decided, oh, well, maybe we'll come to Lancaster. And we discovered that we love showing off our hometown, in Central Pennsylvania. So that's actually become a hotspot, bringing people in who live in the city, and this is like the greatest thing to them, so that's kind of a fun thing. So we are in Lancaster. Funding, like I said, I'm very good at asking for money. Just ask my husband. But our primary events are our spring gala and our golf outing in September. We also are affiliated with Light the Tree in the center of Lancaster the day after Thanksgiving. So those are three, event type fundraisers. But we've also been chosen for some national ones. We will be Subaru Share the Love local charity this year. So coming into November and December, go buy a Subaru, okay? And we will get a percentage of that.
Will you be a part of Extra Give this year?
We will be Extra Give. Something that's interesting with Extra Give is, so I have to, this comes with a story I have to tell you, but I think you'll appreciate it. Caleb was told that I saw him have a seizure, and we took him to CHOP October 17th of 2014. And the doctor called me that night. He said, he's done. He's not going to live out the year. And he said, is he going to understand this tomorrow? Because he had over 100 seizures that day. And I got him into the room, and the doctor came in and talked to him, and he said, Caleb, I want you to understand that we're done with what we can do for you. Do you understand that you're not going to live out the year? I hope you can see this. Caleb grabs the doctor's arm like this. He says, that's not acceptable. He said, you keep me alive. He said, I have a fundraiser that I've got to get to kick off my organization. So you get me to Light the Tree, which is the day after Thanksgiving. And then we'll be fine. And so instead of making him comfortable, they threw everything at him, including the kitchen sink. And that night he went out the door, and he had a couple seizures before he went out the door, but he was on TV, he gave a speech, and he had one of our little kids, our first week away child, on his shoulders, and I'm nervous as all get out. She pushed the button to light the tree. He went home, and 2 days later he died. He went unconscious. So Light the Tree is, very important to me, but because it's also at the same time of extraordinary give, we register for Extra Give, but we never solicit, because I don't feel right about asking for two things at the same time. So if you want to give to an extra give, we're registered and you can certainly make a donation. And if you want to wait and see about light the tree, you can do that then as well. But that's, you know, that's the tenacity that he had. And that's why that's the kind of thing that keeps us going. So anyone else?
Yeah, Lynn, so I apologize if you mentioned this, but do you have other volunteers, or how's your organization supported?
Yes, well, it's supported. It's almost 100% volunteer. Okay, we have our board, and then we have approximately 50 volunteers that meet to help with events and whatnot. So I am actually the first staff person, and I get a nominal salary just because I was going broke doing everything on my own. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyone else? All right. Well, Lynn, thank you so much for joining us. What a great story, and so proud of the work that you're doing here and across many areas of our country. And Alyssa, maybe we can update the website as well, the speaker section on our website. We'll put the website and the email that you gave us so that people have access to it if they want to reach out and support. Happy to put that out there and get more visibility for you guys.
Great. Hey, listen, thank you so much for having me. What you do is so important. I mean, really, community is everything. That's what keeps us going, you know, and just being aware of all the little things that are going on, you know. It's there's a lot of larger fundraisers and whatnot, but because you are so integrally involved within your community, you know, it's spread, the love is spread, you know, throughout. So I just want to say thank you. This is my 3rd or 4th Rotary that I've spoken at, and it's great people. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I've made some new friends in Etown, I hope.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday as well. And I'm going to go ahead and close out the meeting. Thanks everyone. Have a good night.